The White House is a place of power, history, and secrets. But for Barron Trump, it became something else, something watching. It started with whispers in empty halls, then shadows that moved when no one was there. But the real horror began when he found the door, a door that should not exist, a staircase that led to something no president had ever dared to face. Because buried beneath the most powerful house in the world was a classified secret, one that had been watching him his entire life, and now it was waiting. If you like this video, please comment below what kind of stories you would like to hear. Now let's get back to Barron Trump. The corridors of the White House had always been a blend of history and hushed secrets, but for Barron Trump, they were simply home. At 19, he had grown accustomed to the grandeur, the constant presence of security, and the ever-watchful eyes of the media. Yet, despite the opulence surrounding him, Barron often felt isolated, a solitary figure navigating the complexities of his unique existence. But there was something in the White House that had been watching him far longer than the press. It started with whispers, soft, slithering sounds that came from nowhere and everywhere. At first, he dismissed them as the wind, the murmur of staff shuffling through hallways. But the more he listened, the more he realized the whispers were speaking his name. Then came the shadows. Barron had never been afraid of the dark, but the darkness in the White House had changed. It moved wrong. Corners stretched too far. Empty rooms seemed less empty. And sometimes, just before he flipped a light switch, he swore he saw something waiting in the gloom. That was when he found the door, the one he had never noticed before. It was slightly ajar, revealing a narrow staircase leading downward. Curiosity piqued. He descended, the air growing cooler with each step. At the bottom, he found himself in a forgotten archive room, filled with dusty boxes and ancient documents. Among the clutter, a particular file caught his eye, marked with the presidential seal, but labeled Classified Project Slender. Intrigued, Barron opened it to discover a series of reports detailing encounters with a tall, faceless figure in a black suit, known as the Slender Man. The accounts spanned decades, each eerily similar to the last. Unexplained disappearances, sightings, and a pervasive sense of dread. As he delved deeper into the files, Barron felt an unsettling sensation, as if he were being watched. He dismissed it as paranoia, a natural reaction to the chilling tales he was reading. However, that night, his dreams were plagued by visions of a towering figure lurking in the shadows, its blank face turning slowly toward him. Over the following days, strange occurrences began to unfold. Electronic devices malfunctioned in his presence. Shadows seemed to move independently, and he often felt an icy chill despite the summer heat. Determined to uncover the truth, Barron reached out to a trusted friend, Alex, who had a penchant for the paranormal. Alex listened intently as Barron recounted his experiences and shared the contents of Project Slender. After a moment of contemplation, Alex suggested, "Perhaps this entity is drawn to you because you've acknowledged its existence. Legends often gain power from belief." Skeptical but desperate for answers, Barron agreed to conduct a seance, hoping to communicate with the presence haunting him. They gathered in his room late at night, the ambiance set by flickering candles and a hastily drawn pentagram. As they began the ritual, the temperature plummeted, and the shadows seemed to thicken, converging toward a single point. Suddenly, the candles extinguished, plunging the room into darkness. In the silence, a faint whisper echoed, growing louder until it was a cacophony of voices all uttering the same phrase, "He sees you." The oppressive atmosphere became unbearable, and just as panic set in, the lights flickered back on, revealing a message scrawled on the wall, "Leave or suffer." Shaken but resolute, Barron refused to be driven from his home. He delved deeper into the lore, discovering that the Slender Man thrived on fear and attention. To defeat it, he needed to confront it directly, to show no fear. Armed with this knowledge, Barron ventured into the nearby woods one moonless night, the very place where sightings had been most frequent. As he walked deeper into the forest, the familiar chill returned and the whispers surrounded him. Emerging from the darkness, the Slender Man appeared, its faceless head tilting as if observing him. Summoning all his courage, Barron spoke firmly, "I am not afraid of you. You have no power over me." The entity paused, its form flickering, the shadows around it wavering. Taking a step forward, Barron continued, "You are nothing but a manifestation of fear, and I refuse to give you that power. With each word, the Slender Man seemed to diminish, its tall frame shrinking, the darkness receding. Finally, with a guttural hiss, it dissipated into the night, leaving Barron standing alone in the silent woods. Returning to the White House, Barron felt a profound sense of relief. The oppressive atmosphere had lifted, and the shadows no longer whispered. He had faced the embodiment of fear and emerged victorious, not just over the entity, but over his own inner demons. From that night on, Barron embraced his unique position with renewed vigor, no longer feeling isolated but empowered, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead.